My name is Sam Baraso, and I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Undergrad, I went to Washington University in St. Louis, and I actually studied finance and management economics. But here I'm studying ecosystem sciences and conservation under the MEM program. I guess at that point I was still kind of, I knew I was trying to get back in this environmental field, but I had very little grasp of what was going on in terms of the academic institution. So I just did a Google search, and I was in Atlanta at the time, so I kind of just went up the coast. I checked out the big places that I knew would have good programs, and then I was like Duke, and I happened to get onto the Nicholas School page, and it looked like something that I could actually get into and that actually melded my background and like my future interests. My passion, like coming into the environment, like growing up, has always been like wildlife, and it started with lions. Just early on, watching, like sitting on the couch watching National Geographic. So coming in here, I was really focused on kind of understanding this grassroots wildlife conservation. But then everything changed as you start getting deeper and deeper in the issues. It shifted into land use, and kind of based on some of my experiences this summer and everything else that I've been just getting into this whole idea of just what's the land being used for alternatively. It's, in the village I worked in this past summer, it was corn. So that was just my bigger interest, and I think that's been my interest moving forward, is this idea of what is the agricultural context in sub-Saharan Africa, amongst agro-pastoral systems. I was pretty fortunate last year. Another student, Jeff Gustafson, and a few others pushed a course called the UN Climate Negotiations Practicum, and it revolves around studying the UN climate negotiations. And then it ended in 15 of us going to Durban last December. So, I mean, that is kind of the culmination of that global experience, but everything else that we've done, every single class has had some aspect of a project, and we've always had the flexibility of choosing what our projects are, and so pretty much I've always, given them my interests, have been global conservation management or international conservation management. I've always picked projects that have been outside the borders. I guess biggest one is having the Sanford School has been amazing, just right down the street. So I've taken a lot of public policy courses, but I mean, other than that, it's been there's a lot of pool and funds of money available to do all sorts of things. So whether it's been being in Tanzania and going to a conference while I'm there, or traveling to Durban, South Africa, I guess I've just been able to take advantage of these things that aren't necessarily associated with the coursework as well. I worked with the African People and Wildlife Foundation, and that was tied in with my internship as well as master's project. So before I went out there, I realized that there was a conference with the East African section of Society for Conservation Biology, as well as the Tropical Society for Conservation Biology. So it was like already going to be maybe a few hundred miles away, and it was amazing because the career services have the internship fund. So I just ended up walking in maybe a few weeks before the end of the year, and I said, I'm going to be in Tanzania this summer. There's a conference a couple hundred kilometers away. Can I get support to go there? And so it worked out. They had some extra funds, and I pretty much fully funded the trip. So it was an amazing way to be out there, connect with people out there, and just make even more of my summer there. Yeah, definitely. It was, it's kind of, again, even though I had a different background, coming here only, I feel like, strengthened myself, and it gave me more focus. I don't feel like I'm necessarily hopping around and I have like all this divergent paths. I feel like everything is kind of coming together, and I feel like just being here has strengthened on everything that I've done in the past, and moving forward I feel even stronger to approach these environmental problems.